Hello, story lovers! Welcome to Nana's Fairy Tales, where we share amazing and interesting stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get notified when we upload another enchanting tale.
Today, I want to tell you a very hilarious story. It is the story of Zim, the wise fool. It happened in a little village where life was fun and beautiful, where the sun kissed the land with its energy in the day and the moon blesses them with its light and warmth in the night. In this village, there was a man called Zim. Zim is a very tricky and cunning man. He likes getting everything he wants through dubious means. Zim cheats everyone he does business with and laughs out loud whenever he gets richer from his dubious means. No one knows what he does for a living in the village. They just see him all the time, moving from pillar to post without destination. Zim is a very lazy man. He goes to sleep while others are working in the farm. He would say that he doesn't want the sun to burn his skin, but whenever it's time for harvest, he would go to people's farms to help them gather their food so that they will give him a little when they are done. Life for Zim was laying around and reaping where he did not sow. When he goes to eat at a restaurant, he carries a live cockroach that he hides in a tiny box. When he has ordered and has been served, he would eat till he's almost done with the food. Then he would bring out the cockroach and put it in the plate and begin to scream. He would shout, "Cockroach, cockroach." People would think the cockroach is from the people selling the food. They would hurriedly tell Zim not to shout so that other customers will not hear. They would even beg him to go without paying for the food. This is what Zim does every time. He has been to all the restaurants in the entire village, so there is no place to go again and eat people's food without paying. When hunger has dealt with him, he went to a very far village and disguised as a physically challenged man and began to beg. He pretended to be blind, and the people, not knowing who he was, pitied him and gave him lots of alms. He would hide at a corner in the evenings and count his money with so much joy and happiness. He would laugh out loud and say, "I made it." This continued till one day an old soldier's dog was passing, barking fiercely, and Zim has always been scared of dogs. The dog was barking and walking towards his direction. Zim was in the market begging as usual. He was so scared. The more he walked down the market pretending to be blind and begging for alms, the more the dog comes near him. Out of fear, Zim opened his eyes, forgetting that he was supposed to be blind, and took to his heels. He ran, and the villagers in total amazement looked at him. Some men ran after him and beat him up mercilessly for deceiving their people and collecting alms from them. Zim went back to his village, not knowing what to do. He is too lazy to go to the farm. He gave out all his farmlands on rent, and no one knows what he does with the money. Zim started walking around aimlessly in his village again. He thought of what else to do, but nothing came to his mind. One day, Zim came across some men minting fake money. He watched them as they did it and learned how to produce counterfeit money. He laughed out loud to himself and said, "I've found a new way to get everything I want without paying a dime and without working under the hot sun." He began to mint counterfeits. He mixes these counterfeits with original money and gives to someone to help him buy stuff from the market. He was wise enough not to be going to the market with this fake money himself, so that when the person is caught, he would deny it. He does it all the time, and the people will get the stuff for him. When they complain that he gave them bad money, he would scream and lie that it wasn't his own money that was the bad money, and the person wouldn't know what to say. One day, he gave the money to a little clever boy and asked him to buy a bag of rice for him. The boy looked at the money and realized they were fake. He went to the market and realized that the good money out of the bad ones Zim gave him can only buy 5 cups of rice. He bought 5 cups of rice with the money, bought a bag, filled it with sand, and poured the 5 cups of rice on top. He went to Zim and gave him the bag of rice. Zim was so happy that he had won again. He happily carried the bag of rice and the boy ran off. When he entered his house and opened the bag, he saw rice, but when he dipped his hand inside the bag, he saw sand. He screamed. When the little boy heard him scream, he screamed back at him saying, "Counterfeit money buys counterfeit rice." The boy laughed out loud and ran off. Zim sold most of the properties his father left for him and saved the money in a wooden box in his room. He buried the box in the floor of his house. Every day he shakes the box to make sure his money is still intact, then puts back the box. There is a madman that peeps through his window each time he does that. He wonders why Zim keeps shaking that box every morning and why he puts it back there. Zim never helps his brothers. Whenever they ask him of money, he will yell at them that he doesn't have money. His brothers worked hard on their own and we are living comfortably. One harvest season, Zim thought of how to get food from the villagers, but he doesn't know because no one allows him to help them with harvest anymore, since he's just doing that to get food from them. They despised Zim for his laziness. Zim came up with an idea. He would disguise in animal skin, go to people's farms and hide somewhere. He would begin to roar fiercely like a hungry lion. And out of fear, the people would leave their farms and run away. When they had run out, Zim would come out of his hiding and laugh out loud. He would laugh at them and then take some of their farm produce home. Zim continued like this and people began to complain about a strange beast that scares them from their farms. The king told his warriors to keep watch on the farm and on the forests, that if they find any strange beast, they should shoot it at once so that their people could have peace. Zim had no idea of this new development. He went ahead with his trick one day, and as he was there in his camouflage, roaring, one of the warriors caught a glimpse of him. Immediately, he took out his arrow, aimed it at Zim, and as he was about to shoot, Zim caught sight of him and began to scream, "It's not a beast, oh, it's me, oh." The warrior, in wonder and amazement when close, asked him to unveil himself, and Zim shamefully came out of his camouflage. The news spread in the whole village like wildfire that Zim is that strange beast they had been scared of. When the news got to the king commanded that Zim be given 50 strokes of cane on his buttocks for deceiving the people and stealing from them. The villagers gathered and Zim was flogged by the soldiers according to the king's order. He wept bitterly and the villagers laughed at him. Out of shame, Zim went to take the money he had been saving and run out of the village and start a business. When he got home, he brought out his box, shook it, and it was heavy. He smiled and began to insult the king and the whole villagers. He told them that he is going to leave their useless community and go to a more developed city and live large like a big man. The villagers looked at him and laughed. He broke his box and to his surprise, papers came out of it. Not even a single dime. He screamed and screamed, but no one answered him. They already know he was a very unserious person. The madman that always see him shaking the box had carried it, took all the money and filled the box with papers. The madman looked at him and laughed. The madman happened to be one of the people he duped. He disguised and stole from him. Zim cried his eyes out. Shame couldn't let him stay in the village. He hid in his hut for 1 week, coming out only at night. When hunger dealt with him badly, he went to the village square and apologized to all the people he had duped and promised to turn a new leaf. The villagers forgave him and he began to work on their farm and they paid him. He apologized also to his brothers and they forgave him and gave him a piece of land to cultivate. Zim became responsible and worked hard, for he learned that nothing good can ever come out of laziness. And there is no wisdom in duping people. Thank you for watching. I hope you had an amazing time listening to this hilarious story. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell, for we have more amazing stories yet to be told. See you around.